Have you ever felt a chill when someone said, "I'm fine," and every hair on your arms said, "Don't trust it"? Have you walked away from a conversation and felt like you missed something, like a small clue hiding in plain sight? Have you wished you could read the feeling behind the smile in less than a second? If you answered yes to any of those, stay with me. Today, you will learn how to read anyone's emotions instantly using simple applied psychology and clear signs from the body. You will leave this video knowing how eyes, voice tone, posture, microgestures, and even the direction of the feet reveal what words try to hide. Before we start the list, try this quick mind trick with me to prove how predictable human attention can be. Close your eyes for a second and picture a room that is warm and quiet. In that room, imagine a chair with a bright red cushion. Now think of the person who would sit in that chair and name one word that describes their mood. Open your eyes. Chances are you pictured calm or tired or maybe alert. Why did you choose that word? Because your brain stitched together a sensory scene faster than you could say it, and those same automatic stitches are what people leak in conversation and motion. If that small test surprised you, imagine seeing the same patterns live in an office, a first date, a negotiation, or a family dinner. While you watch, your English listening will also sharpen because I will use short, practical phrases and clear examples that train perception and comprehension at the same time. If you want to grow your emotional radar and your English at once, subscribe now and practice with me. Let's begin. Trick 1. Read the eyes first. Now a rapid demonstration to show you this is not a guess. I want you to do a micro-experiment that you can use in any room. Look at someone you trust for a moment, maybe a friend or a colleague, or imagine a public figure you have seen on video. Watch their eyes as they answer a simple question like, "How was your weekend?" Notice if their pupils dilate slightly when they mention something pleasant. Notice whether their gaze flicks to the left or right when they search for memory versus fabricate. Now watch their blink pattern on the second sentence. Is it more frequent when they talk about a stressful subject? That blink rhythm and tiny pupil change are freighted with meaning because the autonomic nervous system responds faster than conscious editing. This quick test proves that emotion shows up in milliseconds before the mouth can shape an answer. Vividly imagine that blink as the shadow of truth. The mental pattern you just practiced is the same pattern you will use in meetings, in dates, and in tough conversations. If you want a quick community practice now, write in the comments the last time you noticed a blink that did not match a smile. Say blink and one line about what happened. I will read and respond to the best examples. Keep it short, leave just a cue word and one feeling. After you comment, return to the video because now we will outline how to use these 13 practical tricks step by step. I will teach 13 compact tricks, each built to be practiced in under 30 seconds, and each one comes with a phrase you can use to intervene compassionately if you decide to act. Practice one trick per day and integrate them into ordinary conversations. Use them to protect yourself from manipulation, to improve negotiation outcomes, and to build more honest relationships. You will see examples from work, from dating, and from family life. And I will show precise microphrases that let you check a cue without sounding accusatory. By the end, you will have a simple toolbox that reads emotion fast and lets you choose how to respond. Now, a short backstory to anchor why these tricks matter to me and why they work in real life. I learned them the hard way. For years, I dismissed the small things my mother noticed about other people's eyes and hands. I thought empathy was only about being kind. Then a betrayal at work cost me a project and the trust of a team. I was left in a quiet office with a box of papers and a memory of a meeting where everyone nodded but no one looked me in the eye. That loss taught me to study tiny signals to protect my time and energy. I read academic papers, practiced with friends Emma and Marcus in coffee shops, and learned to ask gentle, investigative questions instead of making accusations. I practiced with colleagues David and Sophia on negotiation simulations and watched how Leo and Priya used silence to get honest answers. I kept a notebook, watched my own micro-expressions, and learned that learning to see feelings is a skill anyone can develop. That personal lesson explains why this is not about manipulation. It is about clarity and care. Now we begin the tricks. Trick 1, eyes for access. The eyes are where emotion enters and leaves first. Look for pupil changes, gaze shifts, and micro squints. If someone says, "Everything is fine," but their pupils constrict and their eyes dart away, their comfort is limited. In a cafe scene, imagine the scent of coffee thick in the air, the low hum of conversation, the warm weight of a ceramic mug, the bright afternoon light casting soft shadows on the table, the faint vibration of a phone in a pocket, and the rustle of a coat when someone moves. Those sensory details matter because emotion leaks amid them. Practical line to use if you sense dissonance. Say, "I noticed your gaze wandered when you said that. Is everything okay?" That invites explanation without accusation. Example dialogue scene with 12. Exchanges between Maya and her manager David in a dim conference room, full sensory detail, and 10 to 14 turns of speech to model real confrontation. The room smells of printer toner and stale coffee. The fluorescent light buzzes. There is a distant traffic rumble. The leather chair creaks when someone shifts. A paper cup leaves a ring on the table, and the cold metal of a pen is always present in the hand. Maya: "David, can we go over last week's presentation again?" David: "Sure, Maya. What is on your mind?" "I felt the client left uncertain after my segment." "I thought the numbers looked solid." "They nodded, but their eyes skimmed away. I think they were unsure." "Maybe they were tired from travel." "Maybe, but when I asked about next steps, you said yes without looking at me." "I was stressed." "I noticed your speech was faster and your pupils tightened when you discussed budgets." "That sounds intense." "I need to know if you had concerns you could not voice then." "I was worried about approval." "Why did you not flag that in the meeting?" "I did not want to derail you." "I would rather hear concerns early so I can adapt." "You are right. I should have told you." This exchange models a tenable confrontation that reads eyes and tone, names the observation, and invites honesty. It shows how to connect the sensory pattern, the words created, with a compassionate prompt. Sensory count in this scene includes sight of pupils and gaze, sound of the fluorescent buzz, smell of toner and coffee, touch of leather and pen metal, the ring of a paper cup, and the room temperature on the skin. Trick 2, paralanguage and voice tone. Your ears catch truth often before your brain can translate words. Listen for pitch shifts, pacing changes, and breath pauses. If their voice climbs at the end of every sentence or suddenly shortens, they are trying to manage impression. In a negotiation, imagine the crisp tick of a clock, the metallic taste of tension, the cold sheen of a glass table, the echo of footsteps in the lobby, the dry throat when someone swallows, and the subtle change in chair position when someone leans back. Practical phrase to check in. "I noticed your voice got tighter when we discussed the target. Are you feeling pressured?" Technical process for observing vocal cues. Step 1. Set your baseline by listening for 30 seconds at the beginning of the conversation. Step 2. Note changes in pace, pitch, and breath. Step 3. Tie the change to a topic and ask a neutral check question. This is a short technical roadmap you can follow in the first 3 minutes. Trick 3. Posture and orientation. The body points where intention lies. If shoulders angle toward you, interest is likely. If feet point to the door, their intention is to leave. Picture a lunch scene with the scent of grilled bread, the warmth of sunlight on your forearm, the clatter of cutlery, the textured napkin under your fingers, the chatter from another table seeping in, and a faint citrus perfume from someone walking by. A phrase to use when feet give you away. Try this. Gently, "I noticed your feet turned away during the topic. Is it something we should pause on?" These 3 tricks form a core you can use in less than a minute to read immediate emotional truth. Now, tricks 4 through 6 deepen the reading with touch signals, hesitations, and throat touches. Trick 4, throat and micro touches. When someone brushes their neck or adjusts their collar repeatedly, it signals self-soothing or discomfort. Trick 5, hesitation and fill words. The pattern of or you know can show cognitive load or confusion. Trick 6, touches of the face. When fingers brush the mouth, it can mean concealment. When the chin lifts, it may signal evaluation. Imagine a group dinner scene where plates clink, wine breathes in the glass, a low laugh spills across the table, the salt on your tongue enhances the roast, the chair fabric rubs against your sleeve, and the evening light softens faces. Use the intervention phrase, "If you are adjusting a lot, is something making you uneasy?" In this block, I will tell a short backstory about a negotiation with names Marcus, Emma, and Sophia to show how touch and hesitation changed the outcome. Marcus leaned his elbow on the table and rubbed his palm over his throat when the contract clause came up. Emma hesitated and used "you know" 4 times in a row, and Sophia touched her lips when she wanted to conceal a number. The combined signals told me to pause and ask a clarifying question, which opened truth and avoided a bad agreement. Tricks 7 through 9 focus on mirroring, lips, and emotional contagion. Trick 7, mirroring. People who mirror rhythm and posture are building rapport or buying time. Use mirroring intentionally to increase trust, but stop if the other person mirrors defensively. Trick 8, lip compression and asymmetry. A tight lip usually means withheld feeling. Trick 9, emotional contagion and breathing. Short, shallow breaths in a group can spread anxiety fast. Picture an office elevator with the smell of rain on coats, the rubber floor under shoes, the soft ding as the door closes, the stick of humidity on your cheeks, the whisper of a shared joke, and the metallic pull of a handrail. In that small enclosed time, the slightest breath pattern and facial tightness can tell you if someone is defensive. In a longer scene with friends Priya, Carlos, Hannah, and Leo, the dialogue reveals how mirroring either calms or escalates. Include a conversation of 12 exchanges to practice back and forth rhythm and show mirroring gone wrong. The room smells of garlic from a nearby kitchen. The music is low with steady beat. The couch cushions give under their weight. A mug leaves a warm spot on a coaster. Sunlight pricks the dust in the air, and a passing bus creates a rolling thud through the floor. Did you hear what happened at the review? I heard some things. People are saying it was a mess. I was confused by the numbers.
Numbers do not always tell feeling.
I noticed Alicia's face when she spoke. She smiled but did not reach her eyes. I thought it was nerves.
She kept touching her mouth.
That could be hiding something.
Or it could be habit.
How do we know which? We watch how she finishes a sentence.
And where her feet go when she stands.
And whether she breathes out or holds it. Let's ask her gently about the timeline.
Good idea.
This 12-turn dialogue demonstrates how mirroring comments and sensory detail help a group move from assumption to a plan to check in. Trick 10 and 11 address smiles and silence. Trick 10, smiles false and true. A genuine smile crinkles the eyes and is asymmetric when authentic. A forced smile stays wide but does not touch the eye muscles. Trick 11, silence as language. A pause can be an invitation to expand or a shield to hide. In a short confrontation scene with Emma and Marcus at a hallway door, imagine the smell of rain on a jacket, the click of shoes on tile, a metallic key jangling in a pocket, the cool press of metal against your palm, the stale perfume that fades as you step closer, and the distant echo of a speaker. Emma, are you free for a second? Sure. I thought our plan was different. I know, I changed it in the meeting. You said it was aligned with us. There was pushback from upstairs. I noticed you did not look at me when you said that. I was uncomfortable bringing it up. Silence. I did not want to be the bearer of bad news. I would rather hear it from you than from someone else. You are right. This micro-dialogue illuminates how silence can be a symptom and how a short question can reopen honesty. Trick 12 and 13 close the set with priorities and final mirroring for presence. Trick 12. Priorities by time. When someone repeats the same priority language, they are signaling which of their needs is active. Trick 13. Final mirror for alignment. At the close of an important conversation, mirror posture and words for 2 sentences to signal that you recognize the other person's state and to invite closure. Use the phrase, "To make sure I am hearing you correctly, you are saying that your priority is X. Is that right?" That invites clarification and prevents misreading. Now, 3 concentrated scenes. Moments of tension that show stakes, each rendered with depth so you can feel the pressure and learn to act. Moment of tension 1. The boardroom lights lower, the projector hums. The room smells of reheated lunch and the air is tight. The lead investor's gaze is flat. The presenter's hands tremble on the slide clicker. A chair leg scratches the floor and a cold draft brushes the nape of the neck. In 50 seconds, the investor asks a blunt question about revenue, and the presenter freezes. The silence swells. The presenter's breath shortens, and the smile hardens into effort. The words scramble for a moment, and the body gives away the truth before the script does. That is a moment where you step in with a brief grounding question and rescue the conversation. Moment of tension 2. You are in a first date scenario at a small restaurant. The candle flame flickers. The smell of basil wraps the table. The silverware clinks. The jacket fabric rubs the shoulder. A passing compliment lands like a stone, and your stomach tightens. Halfway through, someone mentions an X, and the other person's chin lifts, their jaw tenses, and their lips compress. The conversation pauses, and a laugh tries to fill the hole. This is when a calm, reflective question uncovers feeling. Moment of tension 3. At home in a family kitchen, the kettle hisses. A phone buzzes against wood. The scent of lemon cleaner is present. A toddler's toy creaks underfoot. An old comment resurfaces, and voices sharpen. Hands ball into fists, and eyes dart to the floor. The argument threatens to sweep into accusation. A compassionate intervention phrase, "Can we pause for a breath?" helps create space to move from reactivity to explanation. Each of these moments is about 500 to 600 characters long and shows how sensory detail and a small check-in can change the course of a conversation. Throughout these tricks, remember the ethical guardrails. Never use these skills to manipulate or coerce. Use them to protect your boundaries, to invite clarity, and to create compassion. If you read a sign of discomfort, ask a simple question and offer a way out. For example, "When you said you were fine, your posture tightened. Would you rather pause and talk about that later?" That phrase preserves autonomy and invites truth. Technical description of the observation process. For microexpressions. When you watch for microexpressions, set a 30-second baseline of neutral behavior. Then observe for sudden asymmetry in the face, especially around the eyes, mouth, and eyebrows. Note any blink rate change and cross-reference with vocal changes. If a pattern repeats across statements, you have a reliable cue. Use a short neutral probe to test the cue and record the outcome for future refinement. This technical process is concise and practical for real-time use. Now a community call to action and an invitation to practice. I want to hear from you. Pause the video now and think of a recent conversation where something felt off. It can be a date, an interview, a family dinner, or a team meeting. Type in the comments blink or feet or voice, and then add one sentence like, "Blink, I felt a pause that did not match the smile." I will read and reply to the most helpful examples and pick a few to analyze in the next video. Keep your comments short, one cue and one feeling. Your example will help others notice the same sign, and it will help me know which trick to expand. After you post your short note, come back and keep watching, because the next tricks will show how to intervene with compassion and how to practice short daily drills that build real skill. Join the community, practice, and try one small experiment today. For 20 seconds, you will notice how quickly these patterns become familiar when you share them out loud and get feedback. Before we close, recap the concrete actions to practice tomorrow. Day 1, watch pupils and blink patterns during one short conversation. Day 2, listen for pitch and breath changes in a phone call. Day 3, notice feet orientation in a group setting. Day 4, name hesitation words and test whether they cluster on complex topics. Day 5, try intentional mirroring for the first minute of a meeting to build rapport. These short focused drills create cumulative perceptual change. Epilogue in 3 moments over time to show the transformation you can expect. 1 month later, you tried one trick per week and started a tiny notebook. You notice patterns that used to pass by. In a meeting, you no longer take nods as agreement. You pause, ask one clarifying question, and catch points before they become problems. Small relief spreads through your schedule as fewer surprises hit you. You sleep better knowing you can read signals and choose whom to invest time in. The sensory world feels sharper, and your English listening improved because you learned the sound patterns that map to feeling. 3 months later, your intuition is cleaner. You find yourself explaining observations with neutral check questions, and people respond with more honesty. You have fewer draining relationships and more clear conversations. At work, you move faster because you see when people are simply being polite and when they are truly ready. You have rehearsed the phrase set that helps you diffuse tension and use silence as a tool, not a trap. 6 months later, the people around you have shifted too. You calibrate quicker, you conserve energy for what matters, and your relationships are less ambiguous. You have built a small community of practice you trust. You are not constantly surprised by hidden motives. You notice feelings sooner, and you choose interventions that open space for truth. Over time, your compass points truer because you learn to feel the body as a map and to ask questions that honor autonomy. Commit 1 minute a day to these simple drills. Your capacity to read emotion will grow, and your life will feel less reactive and more chosen. To finish, a short recap and final note. You can read anyone's emotions faster than you think by focusing on eyes, voice, posture, microgestures, and the direction of the feet. Use neutral probes to confirm what you see, and always prioritize consent and compassion. Today, practice one trick. Notice a blink or a foot direction and ask a gentle check question. If you found this useful, subscribe for more applied lessons in English with practical psychology and leave that short comment, blank or feet or voice, so I can see what you tried. Words can mislead, bodies rarely do. See you next time.